I think I can speak for all of us. We'll be open to that. 216-578-1007 if you want to join us telephonically. Or 800-348-1007. 35192 to send a text. AlanCoxShow.com. It's where you can watch the program if you like. And here we are. My wife and my child and I, we spent the weekend in Louisville, Kentucky. And that's an interesting town. You ever been down there? You ever done stand-up in Louisville, Kentucky?
Yeah, lots of times. It's been a while, but I've done it several times.
Yeah, what's the club there? What's the big...
The Comedy Caravan.
The Comedy Caravan. All right.
I don't know if it's currently that, but I think it is. Because it was like Laughing Devil for a minute, and then it was Comedy Caravan for a very long time, and then it was Laughing Devil, and then went back to Comedy Caravan. And I think
this says it's still there. The Caravan Comedy Club.
There you go.
On Bardstown Road.
Yep.
There you go. A not just comedy club is what they call it, which means they're doing other things there.
Probably some burlesque shows, maybe.
Sure. They're doing probably some speeches. Maybe I see Uncle Lair is going to be there.
My first TV.
Larry Reeb.
Uncle Lair.
Larry Reeb.
First headliner I ever opened for at the Cleveland Improv.
Was Larry Reeb?
Uncle Lair.
Wow. There was probably a good 10-year span where that guy never left Chicago. He was just opening for other people, and Larry Reeb.
I think the show was me hosting. I think Ryan Dalton was the feature, and then I think Larry Reeb was the headliner.
Wow.
It was a good time.
Well, we just missed him because he's going to be there. He's going to be there in a week or so.
My first television appearances were filmed at that club.
Really?
Yes.
Your first time you're on television as a stand-up comedian. We're in Louisville, Kentucky.
Yes.
Wow.
Filmed for the show Laughs that used to be on Fox.
Yeah.
And we filmed at when it was the Laughing Devil Club.
There you go.
So, yeah.
Well, we stayed in a neighborhood called Nulu, which best as I could ascertain was like the arts district. This would have been the place that Poundcake would have wanted to have hung out.
Just very liberal, very gay.
Well, I wouldn't say. I mean, it was local artists and a lot of things. There was one of the main streets there was completely shut down.
I've only encountered
for like a street fair, which is fine. It's just that there's a lot of one-way streets, and so it took like forever to go a few blocks because of all the streets that were shut down. You've been wanting to what?
Nothing. I said I've only encountered Southern gays one time, and that was in South Carolina, Charleston.
Yeah, I can't figure out if Louisville is the South. I mean,
I feel like they treat it like the South.
Well, it is Kentucky, and Louisville's obviously the bluest part of that state. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's essentially 90 minutes south of Cincinnati, so
Kentucky
you're barely over the river.
Kentucky wasn't a slave state, was it?
I don't think so. No, I think Kentucky was neutral in the Civil War.
I don't think they have.
Of course, you'd never know that by driving through some of the more rural parts. They really feel like they missed their time in the Civil War, trying to get it back going. But it's an interesting town. And I will say this, upon returning to Cleveland, Ohio, that Cleveland has, and the people down there will maybe deny this because we have a number. We probably have about half a dozen bureau chiefs in Louisville who listen to the show on iHeartRadio. And for all of the hullabaloo, and I couldn't wait to try these places, for all the hullabaloo over the local ice cream, Cleveland, you got it hands down over everybody else. The ice cream in the Cleveland metropolitan area with your Mitchells and your Graders and your whoever else, I don't know. Boy, it's very, very good. Now, obviously, in Louisville, everything's bourbon, right? So you get that. I mean, they should really talk about that more. I didn't know that till I got in there. I didn't know that bourbon was a big thing. But I'll tell you what, oh, boy, do they want to let you know. So it's in everything. It's in the ice cream. It's in the... But we went to two places on two separate evenings that were supposedly renowned for this amazing local ice cream they were making. And, yeah, you got to come back. You got to have some Ohio ice cream. So, listen, I'm an ice cream guy. If I had my way, I would eat it every day all the time. But I don't want to be 400 pounds, so I don't do that. But on a long weekend, yes, I'll get a little thing of ice cream 2 nights in a row. I did, too. I sure did. Yep. Went to a place called Louisville Cream, and then we went to another place that's been there for like 150 years called Earler's. It's right downtown. And they were fine. They were fine. But there were no Mitchells. And only reason I bring this up is because you take those things for granted. Here you are, you're living your life, you're walking around, you're walking into a giant eagle, and you're hitting the freezer end cap there, and you're just grabbing the Mitchells out of there, and you don't give it a second thought. You don't think about how people in other cities and other states are thinking that they're having great stuff, right? And, I mean, the wool is just being pulled over their eyes. Of course, it's all subjective, too, but I do like my ice creams. We also, we took our daughter to a cat lounge as a surprise, and my wife posted a couple of photos, and, of course...
Is it just like a lonely lady's house?
No, these cat cafes are kind of blown up. There's one in Tremont we took her to a little earlier in the year. And, of course, when my wife posted this thing, one of the photos in her thing was me. And, of course, the comments exploded with everybody going, ha, ha, Alan's going to get a cat. Well, first off, we're not getting a cat. Second off, the point is when you go to these things is you don't want to be too thirsty because it's all kids and people running around trying to chase these cats. I'm just sitting there. I'm like, I'm not chasing cats around, right? It's for my daughter. It's not for me. I'm sitting there. Cats are jumping up on my lap because I'm not so thirsty. And they sense a kindred spirit. Did they make me more of a cat fan? Hell no. But because if you ever go to one of these cat cafes, what you have to contend with also is kids who go there a lot and then want to be like the de facto tour guide. So, they go, oh, that's Marty. He's shy. I don't care. I'm just sitting here. My daughter's over there having the time of her life. I don't care. But this little kid kept walking over you. Oh, there would just be a cat under my chair, right? I'm not doing it. I'm just sitting there under my chair. I'm drinking this was a cat cafe with a bar in it. So it's like 9 in the morning and I'm having a cider. And there's like a black cat under my chair or whatever. This little kid keeps like, that's Jupiter. What? Go over there and play. Go do something else. Go over there and play. But this is getting to be big business. I was talking to the guy behind the bar, a guy that owns a place. Cat Cafe. He goes, oh, my God. He goes, you wouldn't believe the business we're doing. I'm like, wow, God bless you. Because it's just so people can get in there and adopt them, and then they get a whole new shipment of cats.
You're never going to run out of cats.
No. No, so it's little kids begging their parents to let them adopt a cat. Or like a grandmother takes her kids there, grandkids, and they're like begging Nana to adopt a cat. And so they do. They move a lot of these cats, and I think you're better off in a house than... running around a place. But I'm like, no, I'm not getting a cat. The implication being that would be the first time my daughter had ever asked me for a cat. It'd be the 4 millionth time my daughter asked me for a cat. And much as Jerry Seinfeld's answer remained the same, when asked if he would re-race Duncan, he said, I choose not to run. Mm-hmm. And that's my answer to my daughter. I choose to not add a cat to this house. But she had a great time. She had a lot of fun. And that's what those things are there for. But it did start me thinking, wouldn't it be ironic if I got into the cat cafe business? You sell some libations, let people run around with these furry little piss ants, and you charge them $40 a head. Man, you live in life.
Is that how much it costs to go into a cat cafe?
I might be exaggerating a bit, but the place in Tremont we went to last year, they just have coffee, right? This place had a bar. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, well, that must help. And the guy goes, honestly, it's like 10% of our revenue. He's like, it's cool to have, but they got merch and all this crap. Yeah, and, of course,
what a racket, man.
What a racket. That's all I'm saying.
I know people that are halfway to having a cafe. They just got to open it to the public because they have so many cats.
You're not going to get people to come into your apartment. Mm-hmm. Rent a storefront.
Right.
There's places, look around. There's places closing all the time. There's no shortage of places you could put a cat cafe in there. I got to take a break. I'll have Nate Bargatze tickets for you later on. Naked. I don't know if he's going to show up with pants. Tony Hinchcliffe, if you're into him, he's coming through to do a show. Alkaline Trio, they're on tour. I'll have some 7 Floors of Hell passes for you later on as well. Of course, that's down at the Cuyahoga County Fairgrounds, right there in Berea. So if you want to text for anything else, 35192, and we'll be back.
The Alan Cox Show.
On our free iHeartRadio.